But this next woman, you're about to meet her, an amazing story despite being faced with a major obstacle at birth.
That's right. Lisa Olson has a disability. It's called Total Amelia, meaning she was born without arms and legs. She uses her story to motivate others, and I can honestly say that I was inspired after our interview, and hopefully after watching this, you will too. Here's her story in this morning's I Am Hampton Roads.
I was born in India in 1974. I was abandoned soon after my birth and brought to the Kasturba Medical College in the cover of darkness. I was found actually at the maternity ward one early morning. The nurses found me as they opened up the door. And I was presented at a case conference, and basically the head of pediatrics made the decision to euthanize me, but God had a Christian doctor out of all the Hindu doctors who stood up and protested that euthanasia was unethical and immoral, and that God had a purpose for my life and he was not going to allow them to kill me. Through his medical contacts, he brought me to the Ramabai Mukti mission. He and another intern traveled 37 hours by 2 buses and 2 trains. And I lived there until I was about 5 and a half. One of their board members was a president and founder of a year-round residential school for disabled children and adults, referred to as Hopetown Christian School. And the only way for me to come to America was if someone adopted me. And the director of the school, Marie Olson, had been praying for about 6 months about the possibility of adopting me. One day, out of the blue, came a letter with her name in it, explaining my dire situation, and in the letter it specified, would Marie Olson or someone at Hopetown consider adopting Manyata? I underwent extensive occupational and physical therapy for actually a few years, and learning the English language and meeting my family who accepted me from day one. I became an Olson and right away, and I completely fell in love with my mom, and I would put my head up against hers and say, looking in a mirror, Mom, do I look like an Olson? And my mom, who adopted me, had blonde hair and fair skin, and she would always say, being a very, very loving mom, yes, you definitely look like an Olson. I've always had an optimistic attitude, but I've undergone quite a bit of depression and anxiety over the years, and I reflect upon scripture verses and listen to praise and worship music. And my mom was such a woman of wisdom and courage and faith, and she just instilled in me that I do have a lot of blessings in my life and to focus on those. I graduated from Lee College in Cleveland, Tennessee with a bachelor's degree in communication. I never shared with my students my disability when I would be conversing with them and assisting them over the phone, and predominantly most of my work was conducted over the phone. Once in a while I would conduct a campus visit, so pretty much the first time that my students met me was at New Student Orientation, and I think they were completely mesmerized with my disability. I write, I hold a pen in between my neck and chin, and I type. In the past I typed with my little arm, but now I put a pen in my mouth and peck away, and I can pick up a regular phone in my neck and chin as well. And I drove a van for several years. It was my dream and passion for almost 20 years, and I have a passion for the youth in particular and help them to not turn to drugs or alcohol, substance abuse, or contemplate suicide, because I have thought about suicide in the past. And what helped me over the years is that I couldn't hurt my family and my mom, who sacrificed so much. Never give up. Always persevere and know that God has a great plan for your life, and that He is greater and stronger and can move the mountains in people's lives. Hello, I'm Lisa Olson. I'm the Career Services and Quality Manager with Regent University's Robertson School of Government, and I am Hampton Roads.
What an amazing woman. Lisa is also a motivational speaker, and she welcomes the opportunity to share her story. Her website is currently under construction, but we're going to have a link to her contact information on our website. Quick mention, guys, she has an amazing sense of humor. Like, if you, the instant, minute you start talking to her, she said one time her cousin-in-law bought her a pair of socks, and then she said one time a friend had a nail file that was missing and asked if it was Lisa's, and Lisa said, quote, "Wow, my nails must be getting long."
Oh. Wow.
So
she seems so candid and open too.
She does. She's amazing, and so it just makes you think, if you ever have to complain about something or just you know, the everyday task of getting on a computer, picking up a phone. She's just like, hey.
Well, I'm here to tell you she types faster than I do.
That's what, yeah, Pat, our photographer, we went out, he's like, oh my gosh. And
Lisa, you're
she
amazing.
gets it going. 10 years at
Amazing
Regent
and
University.
inspirational for sure.
Yeah, so.
That's a great story, and thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Way to go, Lisa.